Hey, we back. I'm here in Mudae, and today we're doing something pretty general, which is just simply how to get better roles. Now, this does mean roles specifically, rather than like how to get better characters, because as you should be aware, the way to get better characters is to be active. But how to improve your individual roles is a slightly different question. And of course you can improve your roles. There's plenty of upgrades in the bot to do so, and you probably know what a lot of them are, so we're going to go through all of them today, at least all the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. Discuss how good each of them is and which ones you should actually prioritize, because I know that most people don't do the thing that I'm probably going to be saying. So we're going to start with the obvious one being the silver badge. When you go on K, you have all of your badges, and the silver badge doesn't say for me. I can check KR. Here we go. 25% chance per level to get a character from your wish list. So this is obviously an improvement to your roles. Whoever you are and whatever you're going for, you want the characters on your wish list. So an increased chance to get them is obviously good. As I've said in many videos in the past, however, this increase is pretty small. 25% chance doesn't mean you have a 25% chance to roll them. It means you have 25% more chance to roll them than you did, which is pretty low. Let's suppose you're doing M, for instance, and we have our, I believe, 76,000 characters in the bot. If it feels like confirming that information, I guess not. Then you have a 1 in 76,000 chance of claiming that character. And by increasing this by 25%, well, you've got about a 1 in 65,000 chance of claiming the character or something. The point is it barely goes up. If you get silver 4, oh there you go, it took a while. If you get silver 4, that would be 100% chance. You get double the chance, so that would go to 38,000, 1 in 38,000. But that's silver 4, you've maxed out the badge and it's still a 1 in 38,000 chance. You can see that this is pretty uncommon. Now, like I said, the silver badge is still worth having, for sure. But suffice to say that there are better methods of improving your roles, and where badges are confirmed, better badges to buy. We're not talking about badges this time though. Feel free to go and check out my badge video for more information on badges. But yeah, so silver obviously helps out. That's going to be making your roles better, no matter what it is, because of your wish list. And obviously the bigger your wish list is, the more that the silver bonus is going to affect it as well. So you want to have a big wish list. You want to make sure that the characters on the wish list are all set. Whether they're claimed or not doesn't matter, because you might be rolling them for keys. But you want to make sure that your whole wish list is filled up at all times. The next one is the obvious follow-on, which is Ruby 2, which gives you a 50% chance to get a character from your character wishlist. This is literally just 2 silver badges. As far as cost goes, it's silver 3 and 4. And it's not very good, the same as silver. I won't talk about it again because we've just been through it, but it's pretty much the same principle. The next one is one that's quite obvious, but you may not have thought of, which is simply the type of roles. Most people are going to be rolling WA, which is... Oh, I'm going to take you, actually. Very cool. Which is going to give you, on average, the higher ranked characters, and probably more likely the ones that you want. It's obviously better to pick one rather than doing the M example that I used earlier for this, because then instead of this 1 in 76,000 chance, you have a 1 in 25,000 chance, or whatever. You know, if you're doing HG, you get 1 in 14,000 chance, and that's a much higher chance, if you want the HG characters, of course. So, yeah, make sure that you're picking a type of roles. Try and make it as specific as possible. Of course, a lot of the time you're going to want characters from different different groups. You might want some waifus, some husbandos, you know, especially if a lot of waifus have been claimed and you kind of want to switch over. Maybe you want to do MA or something instead, which is what I do quite often. That's perfectly fine, but be aware that the chances that you roll a particular character is going to be higher if you just pick one roll set and stick to it. Pick MA, pick WA, pick HA, you know, whatever, but pick one. You're normally going to get better rolls of doing something like that. So yeah, there is that. You'd probably do that anyway, but just pointing it out. The next is disable list and limb roll. So this is as always a hot topic on Mudae. I have done videos about disable list and limb roll in the past, so for detailed information check those out. But in general, obviously disable lists are helping you out with getting better rolls. You're going to have by default a 20,000 limit on your disable list. Yeah, I'm on game mode 2. We'll do limb roll in a second. You can upgrade this via KLs, KT, whatever, and make your overlap limit higher. The higher it is, the more characters you can disable. The more characters you can disable, the less characters there are left to roll. It's pretty good. Limb roll does an equivalent thing. We can check limb roll if we go back onto game mode 2, of course. We can check limb roll here. It's going to disable the maximum amount of less popular characters with the limits that you set. So that is basically like a disable list for only the low ranked characters, which is pretty nice. You're not going to get better than that. So this is why I would advise using game mode 2 over game mode 1. You are normally going to be rolling better things on game mode 2, and it's also less of a hassle because you don't need to set up a disable list. In fact, do not set up a disable list because it's actually going to harm you rather than help you. But whether you're on game mode 1 or game mode 2, limb roll and disables are going to help you out getting the characters that you want. Make sure that you've got a good one. Make sure you're trying to cap out on your overlap limit. Make sure that your limb roll is set to the maximum amount of whatever that is. By default it's 7,000, 7,000, 4,000, 4,000 as it says, but you can lower and higher that, raise it rather, with various upgrades. So yeah, they are obviously big helps with getting better rolls. And again, if you want more information on those, check out my disable list videos from the past. The next one is something that you may not have thought of, which is Wish Protect. And I don't mean the toggle snipe value, I mean from KLs. So we have Wish Protect here. Mine is level just over 6,000. And as you can see, it has a spawn probability. What's interesting is this is not a spawn probability of a wish being protected. I mean, it is. But it's actually the spawn probability of a wish spawning because of Wish Protect. This is actually an extra chance to spawn a wish. You can check this with search Wish Protect here or info Wish Protect or whatever you fancy doing to find out your information about it. But it is quite literally an extra chance. As it says here, it's an extra chance to get a wish. Moreover, only you can react to this special wish for the first 3 seconds. So even if you've got like toggle snipe 0 on your server, Wish Protect, pretty good. But because it's an extra chance to roll a wish, then it's obviously going to improve your rolls. And once you max it out, you get this 1 in 499 chance, which in comparison with the 1 in 25,000 chance that we were talking about earlier, this is really good. You want this. Wish Protect is really nice, and you want to try and max it out if you can. Obviously, since it's KLs, it's more of a late game thing. You're going to want to have maxed out your quantity and quality before you start going for this. This is going to mean you need a lot of Kakura and a lot of towers. So yeah, it's kind of late game, but if you can get it, it is gonna really increase the amount of wishes that you can spawn, which is really nice. In comparison with Silver and Ruby 2, this is the good wish spawn. The badge ones are kind of rubbish. So yeah, try and max that out if you can. The next one is First Wish. This one from the KT. Floor 2. Increase spawn chance of your first wish by default by 25%, and then on other towers by 30%. Now this is on the other side of the scale. We've got Wish Protect, which is way better than Silver. First Wish, way worse than Silver. So if you think about it, the default of this is 25%, which is actually equal to a Silver badge. However, the Silver badge affects your entire wish list, whereas this First Wish only affects, well, your first wish. If you're wondering, by the way, your first wish can be told with a little star next to it. I should probably actually set my first wish on here to make a better example, shouldn't I? So let's have it to Sukasa, because why not? There you go. And then Sukasa's at the top of my wish list there with the little star, which is pretty epic. And this means that I have a slightly higher chance of rolling her compared with the rest of the wish list. But whereas my Silver badge is affecting all 58 characters here, the Kakao Tower for First Wish is only affecting Sukasa. And obviously you can only have one First Wish. So this means that this is really bad, actually. Much worse even than the Silver badge, because that's doing that whole increasing up to 1 in 65,000 chance thing, but for only one character. It's really not worth having. So I would not recommend getting that floor early. Of course, you're going to need to get the floor eventually in order to level up your tower. And it's still much better than things like floor 12, which does, well, basically nothing. Floor 9, which is only good late game, like super late game. So if you haven't got that late yet, then sure. But for the most part, floor 2, not a great floor. Would not advise using it, and it's not going to help out your rolls all that much either. The final thing to talk about is slash commands. I have made a video on slash commands in the past. It's a bit old now, but they're not a super heated topic anymore. If you are interested, slash commands do give you some little buffs, one of which being increased chance of spawning wishes, which is pretty cool. So if I was to do something like this, supposedly I have a higher chance of rolling a wish on that command. Personally, I don't use slash commands because they're really slow. But again, this is something I talked about in my slash commands video, so if you are interested, go and have a look at that. If you really want that extra wish chance, you can use slash commands. Can't actually remember the percentage that they increase it by. I don't think it's huge, so it's not worth fretting over if you want that faster commands. I use the faster ones anyway. But yeah, if you do want the extra wish chance, maybe slash commands are for you. Anyway, I'm pretty sure we've gone over everything now, so that is how to get better rolls, quite simply. I think that's all the methods that you can do to get it. Obviously, if you're just trying to claim all the top characters, you're going to want mostly to get them Kakara upgrades. Things like Sapphire Badge is going to be helping you out a lot more than this stuff is. But in terms of just simply getting better rolls, this is what you... Anyway, I will end this one here. Bye!